We are live.
Call the meeting to order. We have the approval of the minutes from May 18th special meeting. Do we have a motion to accept those minutes as presented?
Grade, no move it.
Paul, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The approval of the minutes from May 19th, regular meeting. Do we have a motion to accept them as submitted?
Move to approve is submitted.
All, Marilyn or Miranda seconded?
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of the minutes from May 20th special meeting. Do we have a motion to accept those as submitted?
I'll move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And approval of the minutes from May 26th budget hearing. Do we have a motion to
Grade, no
accept?
move it.
Second?
Second it.
All in
Kevin.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, as if we didn't have enough meetings there. Thank you,
We're
Corey.
busy.
You're
welcome.
We are up to 3 public comment. In light of Executive Order 202.1, in-person attendance at public meetings is suspended until further notice. Board meetings will be conducted remotely and public sessions may be viewed live on the district's YouTube channel. Public comment may be made by emailing boe@waltoncsd.org or by calling the district clerk at 607-865-4116, extension 6130. Comments requiring a response may be addressed at the next regular business meeting. Corey, are you aware of any public comment?
No.
Okay. We are up to our discussion items. The adjourned budget vote will be held on June 9th by absentee ballot in accordance with Executive Order 202.26. Please contact the district clerk if you are an eligible voter and have not yet received a ballot by mail. Email cfrainer@waltoncsd.org or by calling 607-865-4116, extension 6130. Ballots must be received in the district office by 5 p.m. on June 9th to be counted. We have the graduation videotaping. I did speak to Art a little bit this afternoon. Larry, do you want to touch on this a little?
We've been thinking of a plan for this, obviously, for a long time. Art and his staff have put together what I think is a fine celebration for the students and recognizing them and all of the work that they've gone through. Albeit it's not a full graduation from a traditional standpoint, but at the same time, we are very thoughtful about COVID-19, and we're also very thoughtful about the governor's directives in terms of how many people can meet and that sort of thing. I really think it's, as a school, it's our place to honor the law and not go against the law, and the governor's directives do have the effect of law. But that said, I know that our intention is to put together a very fine videotape of the event and make it look as much like a graduation event as possible. In order to do that, we're going to be bringing students in under a schedule. They're going to have a very small window to come in their cap and gown. They're going to be receiving their folder, and we're going to take some photos, and the valedictorian, salutatorian will be having opportunities to do their speeches and things of that sort. If all runs well, I think it will really, really look good on the 27th of June, when students have an opportunity with their families, sitting in wherever it is they want to sit, to take a look and see themselves as well as having their families sit and enjoy that ceremony. The question for the board has become, to what extent does the board want to be at the videotaping? And the reason that we're asking that, I mean, the obvious question, I know all of you, is yes, of course we want to be there, but we also know that there are COVID-19 issues to think about. There are folks who may be compromised or could be compromised. And there are also, it's also just a long day, because we are having a window with student after student after student come in with their families. So the thought is that it's going to go from about 8 a.m. to about 4:30 in the afternoon. And we're just curious the extent, or Art is curious, the extent to which the board wishes to be there. So we'd like to know who's going to be there. And if there's anything else that you would like me to address relative to that.
I will plan on being there all day. I don't know how many more want to attend. If all of us want to attend, Arnie, I don't think you have a choice. You're muted yet.
Question for you, Larry, regarding that. Does the team have a recommendation or a plan that they would like to see? I mean, because I think I agree with Rhonda, it's kind of an obvious statement that I think, and I'm a little out of turn here speaking on everybody's behalf, but I think the board as a whole is looking to support the student body as much as they can, and the staff. But also, like you said, with the COVID regulations and different family sizes coming to watch their student graduate and take those photo opportunities, I'm assuming you guys have put probably a lot more thought in this, in a sense, than we have on a daily basis, to the scheduling of it and the how you'd all make it work out. So I guess, does the admin team have a suggestion or a recommendation to maintain social distancing, and how many board members, or is it set up that we can all be there, or shifts better? I mean, just is there advice, I guess?
And
Well,
to follow that up, Kevin, does that, us being present takes away from that number of 10, right?
I'm going to say yes to start. However, there's also the simple fact that you folks are our staff members. You represent the school district. You're part of the school district. And so while we don't want to have more than 10 people altogether on the stage, I think that a couple of you can be there, or a number of you can be there as staff members. And there may be some times when you wouldn't necessarily be viewed on camera on stage, but you certainly could be assisting with the maturing duties that we have, and also get some video of you all. I mean, one thing that I think we all want is to have as many of you who can be on camera at some point be on camera, whether that means we want to shift in and out, somebody come in for an hour and participate, and another person come in and a little bit later and participate, so that we can get you all on camera. Maybe if we could get you all at one point, I know on the Friday before, I'm coming in my suit, and I'm going to be making some remarks that, as I made last year, and that's going to be brought into the film. And it might be nice to have you all come in at that point when there aren't any students there, and at least get a picture of all the board together, that sort of thing. So we are open. We don't have, Kevin, I'm sorry, we don't have a definitive plan on what it is we want to do, because we also wanted to be very receptive to what your desires were. I mean, you guys earn this. You guys have worked so hard for the last 2 years, let alone while I've been there, let alone this year. And, you know, this is the pièce de résistance. You just, this is the icing on the cake, and you guys should enjoy it in some way. So we still have a little time to take a couple days and maybe talk with each other about it, and if you have some questions. I will be in district tomorrow. I know Art will be in district tomorrow. We could answer some of your questions at that time as well, and formulate something. But I would personally would so hate to not have you involved.
And I know, Kevin, to answer your question about the seating, Art had stated that once he knows the number of board members that want to attend, he will seat them on, you know, on the stage or even off to the side, whichever works, you know, out, that we're separated.
Right, and I guess for me, my mind's going a mile a minute because I don't want this to come out rude. For me, the camera issue isn't an issue as much as it's showing the support to the staff and the students with everybody else. I do hear you and understand what you're saying, Larry, completely. But I guess my biggest concern was I don't want to be pulling from that number of people that's allowed into the graduation ceremony from families and close friends to the family. I don't want to be hindering that number so that I can have my mug on a picture someplace. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean.
I think, Kevin, that you know, I mean, we have thought about that, and I do think that I mean, Art is going to have a schedule of groups that are coming in, and not only is it going to be what student is coming in, but how many is with their particular group. And I think that we can add and or subtract a couple board members here and there in order to stay within our requirements. You know, so. You know, we might, yeah, conceivably there might be a time when we might have to come to you and say, Kevin and Arnie, with one exception, Arnie, but Kevin and Arnie, could you maybe step out so we can take care of this and be in compliance? And then after this group leaves, come back in, that kind of thing. It could go that way.
All right.
So basically, you know, think it over, you know, 8 to approximately 4:30, might be a little bit later depending on the time frame. And then maybe let Corey know what your availability will be, you know, for that day. And then, you know, if somebody needs to get off stage, we can always, you know, step out away from everybody and then just to stay in compliance. So never, you know, we've obviously have never done this before. It's, you know, truly untraditional.
We will customize this, you know, for however we need to in order to stay within compliance, but we also would like to have you involved. That's what it comes down to.
And one thing I was
Corey.
thinking is that how these students are going to have something that no one else has. You know, no one that I know of has a videotape of their entire, you know, graduating class graduating. So, you know, I mean, there is a little bit of a positive, you know, to this whole thing, but it's still a unique situation. And, you know, overall, it's too bad that it's got to be done this way, but to stay within compliance.
And especially at the quality that I think we have the ability to do, you know, with the video, and you know, so we don't get sidetracked and all of a sudden it's over on the side of the wall watching something over there.
Right. Did anybody get a chance to watch the athletic awards?
Yep.
I thought that was done very nicely.
Yeah, I did watch that. That was done very nicely. It came out very nice.
That
Yep.
was Justin and PJ put that together largely with some other assistants, of course, but Justin and PJ.
Yep. That was done very nice. And it was actually, because I've attended many of them in the past, and to hear the names more clearly. And a lot of the students are usually at another event, so they don't even get to attend some of these sports awards. But to be able to hear their own name called and the award that they got, and to see the names come up on the screen afterwards, so you can see everybody that was on the team as well. That was very nice. And congratulations to all of them that, were award recipients. It was very nice. All right, so yeah, we'll get back to Corey with who may be able to attend that.
Will that be tomorrow? What day is the recording? Is it on the 11th or the 13th?
12th and 13th.
All right, correspondence. Do we have any correspondence, Corey, at this time?
No, we do not.
And are there any additions to the agenda?
No.
No, okay. We are up to the consent agenda. We have the appointment of the election inspectors. We have the permanent chair, S. Corey Frainer, district clerk. We have to count the absentee ballots, one of the election inspectors, Lois Hodge. And then the inspectors, Patricia Wood, Colleen Bartlett, Marianne Sullivan, Melissa Summers, Gayla McGibbon, Kathleen Finnegan, Carol Zant. And then as backups, just in case one of them are unable to attend, Kathy Stalzer, Jennifer Voorhees, and Karen Ecker. Do we have a motion to approve the election inspectors?
I'll move it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. You should have before you the 2020 certifying the class of 2020. Once all criteria has been met, do we have a motion to certify the class of 2020?
I'll make it.
I already did that with the other resolution. That was consent agenda.
Oh, thank you, Corey.
I didn't notice it while you were taking that, though.
Yes, so with the consent agenda, we did approve the certifying class of 2020. I got ahead of myself. I typically read them through and then do the motion. All right, we are up to new business. We have resolution for the Board of Education to appoint Dr. Michael McDonald as Superintendent of Schools of the Walton Central School District effective July 1, 2020, and authorize the President of the Board to execute an agreement with Dr. McDonald setting forth the terms and conditions of the employment for the period commencing July 1, 2020 and terminating June 30, 2023 with an annual salary of $155,000. Do we have a motion to accept that appointment?
Agreed, no move it.
Paul,
Second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dr. McDonald.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right, we are up to number 9, administrative superintendent remarks.
I don't have a lot of remarks for you. I did poll my leadership team, and they don't have an awful lot to offer. But I am going to offer a couple things that they did mention to you. As you've already talked about the athletic awards piece, I just want to remind anybody who may be listening and anybody who didn't see that is on our YouTube channel. And so you can go back home and view it, or view it at your leisure over the weekend or what have you. Again, I want to thank Justin and everybody, but I want to thank Justin and PJ for spearheading that and trying to put together a show that everybody would appreciate, given the time that we're in. I want to say welcome to Dr. McDonald and wish him well. I think if I can speak frankly, I believe that he's going to have a good leadership team to work with him, and it'll be a pleasure to meet with him and talk about some pieces relative to transition, so that everything is smooth and seamless. So I'm very excited about that. I would also like to congratulate the board and wish you well, in as much as somebody mentioned something about all the meetings that you've had lately, and with any luck, that number of meetings is going to drastically fall. And but this is the thing about being a board member, you know, there are those times when it's like you're out there 3 times a week, not to mention going to the plays and the games and that sort of thing, but just in business, you're out there 3 times a week and on top of your other job, and the salary that you get for it doesn't match that, all that time and effort that you put in. So my wish to all of you, and I'm not done yet, by the way, you know, I'm going to be here for a couple more weeks, but yeah, thank you. Agreed. What I do more than anything is I wish you peace, and I wish you I wish you well, and I wish you that good things come to you folks. Have earned it very, very much, and so has the rest of Walton. So I know that Meg has not received any questions with respect to budget. I would offer that if she wants to jump in here and mention anything about budget, she's welcome to. Meg, go ahead.
I don't really have anything. I'll continue to check if questions come in, but I'm hoping no news is good news.
That's our biggest hope, that no news is good news. Just about everybody, you all know that I meet with the DCMO superintendents at least every week, sometimes more than that. And everybody sort of compared in conversation yesterday, talking about the ballots that are coming in. And it could be that this might be a banner year for counting ballots since everyone had something sent to them, and they're filling them out. Of course, my prayer is that they're all in the affirmative, but it's good that people are participating in their right to vote. So we'll see how all that goes on the 9th. Board involvement, we already talked about. I do want to mention that SED is forming a task force to talk about the reopening of schools. They've put together 4 dates, I believe 2 in June and 2 in early June, 2 in late June, or something of that sort. But anyway, the idea is that those task forces are going to meet, take in information, and formulate some recommendations for the reopening of schools. That is not going to be fully decided before the end of June. As a matter of fact, I think their timeline is something to the effect of that they're looking to get the reports from the task force sometime around the 10th, 11th, 12th of July, with the idea, I think, that on somewhere around the 13th, mid-July, we're talking about, that they would have something finalized to present to the governor and the other powers that be. So there is work at SED with respect to that, to the reopening, but I'm not anticipating seeing anything different than what we're going through right now, at least through the month of June. And that's it for me.
Okay. All right, we have a need for an executive session for the discussing a matter leading to the continued employment of a particular person. And I would also ask that Dr. McDonald please join us. Do we have a motion to enter executive session?
I'll move it.
Second,
All second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Okay.
Are we going to take action afterwards?
I don't know, Corey.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to come out of exec and adjourn
okay, and
without taking
second,
action.
all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Who made the second?
I'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, it's scratchy on my end. I wasn't sure who did that. Yeah, I didn't have that on mine, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, so all in favor? Yes?
Aye.
Right.
Carried. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.